you clarify what option one is?
If anyone is going to speak to that, it should be Vinny himself.
When Vince answered the question about option one, he acted like he had no idea what was being talked about. Hello, everybody. Well, I said I would attempt to cover the post game of Big Brother 27 for at least a couple of weeks because, the big topic coming at the end of the season was all of the Vince and Morgan drama. And what would Vince do after the show? Has Kelsey left him? Does he really want Morgan? What was option one that they talked about early in the morning several times the last month of the season? Well, so far, I don't know how much post-game I could cover with these two because the walls are up. The lies are out. They're trying to rewrite some of their time in the house. It seems as though Vince and Morgan have come out of the house really saying the word platonic a lot. They're really trying to hammer that home, that everything in the house between them was strictly platonic.
It was platonic all the way through.
I would describe this friendship as a platonic game relationship.
Those platonic hugs that lasted a lifetime, it seemed like. Those platonic gazes into the eyes. Those platonic cuddling on the bed a few nights. Everything just so platonic now. But it's all a facade, in my opinion, at least on the Vince side of things. Because when Vince answered the question about option one, he acted like he had no idea what was being talked about.
We ran scenarios and options all day and all night, so
He didn't know what it was. No idea what option one is. And I can't blame him. I do think Vince and Morgan, if they're going to have conversations, if they're even speaking, need to have those conversations in private too. Plus, anyone who heard all these option one talks on the feeds knows that option one is supposed to come October 1st. And that's not till tomorrow. So option one might not have been optioned yet. So something could come out tomorrow. You never know. What I do know is that Jimmy's big mouth was apparently telling people on stage at the finale that Kelsey loved Vince. I mean, Jimmy apparently was saying a lot of stuff to warn Rachel about things that Ava was saying, warn her about Riley being a creep. Lots of warnings for Rachel, but I feel like it's crazy if other people found out Kelsey might have left Vince before Vince did himself. But we all know, all of us that watch the feeds, that Vince was feeling some kind of way for weeks now when he hadn't heard from Kelsey in HOH letters, when she wasn't there with the calls from home. He knew something was up. Vince knows he went too far. Kelsey said it online earlier this season that she and Vince did not discuss him going into this game being able to flirt for strategy, even though that's what Vince said they did discuss. So Vince and Kelsey got to work things out. We'll see if Vince and Morgan do anything. Are they going to be friends? Will they even speak? It's hard for me to imagine them not speaking at all. I'm sorry, I don't see that. Morgan even gave Vince a pity vote at that finale. So I hear people online, see people online saying that Morgan friend zoned him at the end. Maybe that's what's happening. I just think they just got out of the house. They're just receiving the backlash. Vince just found out that Kelsey likely left him, but I'm sure they'll have a conversation. I would assume they're going to have conversations. Vince did win his $75K. Maybe he will use that to try and string Kelsey back. I don't know. On the Morgan side of things, she said in those cryptic talks that about option one and all of those feelings, and when Vince was asking her what percentage does she feel, she said she can't dive into anything because what she was alluding to, Vince is in a relationship. So Vince has to handle the Kelsey stuff first before there can be any discussions between Vince and Morgan. And Morgan laid that out clear. I do wonder if the backlash will keep them apart for a while, but it didn't stop Kat and Riley. Kat's dumb as shit, but it didn't stop her. So I think it will take a little time before we really see if there is anything more than platonic feelings between Vince and Morgan. If there is something more, it's going to be a bit of a while. I don't know if I will care by then to see what transpires between them, but we'll see. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Usually after a season, whether it's Love Island, whether it's Big Brother, I can care about the aftermath, the post game for a few weeks. But after a while, it's like you see all these people chasing clout. That's what most of the casts on these shows do after the game, and it gets old very, very quick. We're already seeing that with the pre-jurors using Ashley over the past, just this morning, really. They were up late. They got a place together in LA for the night, I think. And Ashley was going live, and all the pre-jurors were there. And yeah, you can just tell they're using Ashley for clout. These are most of the people that talk the most shit about Ashley. Lauren was there too, who's not a pre-juror. I think tomorrow I'm going to attempt, no guarantees, I'm going to attempt to do a live tomorrow. Hopefully I'm having a better day tomorrow than today has been so far. And so then I can do a live, and I want to talk about some of Ashley's opinions after the house. I mean, I still love Ashley. Even Ashley on that live, when people were making comments about people who are in the room with her, Ashley just reads them out loud. Ashley gives zero fucks, like she did in the house, about hurting people's feelings. And that's why I like Ashley. She keeps it real. One thing Ashley did post on Instagram is her seemingly staying on Vince's neck. I don't know what she heard to piss her off. I assume maybe she heard some of the shit Vince was talking about when she left the game. But she did have a post about Vince. She posted a clip of Vince saying that Ashley's being carried. Morgan telling Vince that Ashley knows so much more than he's giving her credit for. It was basically a compilation of Vince talking shit about Ashley's game, how she's played terrible, how she doesn't know anything. And so Ashley posted that video with the caption saying, "There's truly no better feeling than beating a crybaby in a 6-1 vote. Woo! Should have gotten me out week 1, babes. Oh wait, you failed at that because I won the power of veto and took myself off the block." So I love the trash talk that Ashley gets to have after the show, where Vince is concerned, because Vince did talk a lot of shit about Ashley's game, not respecting her game, how she wasn't there to win. Really showed that, like the casuals, Vince was as clueless to what's happening in some parts of the game as them. He was rather clueless to Ashley's game, rather clueless to Ashley and Will's game. It speaks to, once again, the behind-the-scenes string-pulling game that Ashley did, in fact, play. But we'll talk more about Ashley tomorrow, because a lot of people have talked shit about Ashley, and she's seemingly making up with some of them. It is what it is. I mean, I don't care except for one person. There's one person. I've dragged him before, and I'll drag him again tomorrow if I do indeed do a live. There's only one person on the cast that is almost as annoying as Riley and Kat. But we also got to talk about Riley and Kat tomorrow, because Kat and her big dumb mouth was talking some shit about Morgan with Riley right by her side. So Kat still looks dumb. No surprise there. Ava's gone silent. So I don't know if I'll have much to talk about her tomorrow. I hope Jimmy spills a little more tea. You know, he's been our tea spiller. He was the one spilling tea on stage at the finale, apparently. So we need Jimmy to drop us some gems. He's good at that. But yeah, of course, the main topic I wanted to talk about, Vince and Morgan not giving us much right now. but it's to be expected. They've just left the house, and I think that it's going to take a while for them to maybe circle back. If they circle back, they might not circle back at all. We do know that Morgan's friends want to keep her far away from Vince. And I think some of Vince's friends maybe feel the same way about Morgan. So there's a lot working against them. But the main thing working against them is that Vince needed to, and still probably needs to, have conversations with Kelsey, the girlfriend he supposedly had the whole time and was being disrespectful towards. And frankly, like I said earlier, option 1 was discussed to be October 1st. So maybe tomorrow I will have something to talk about in a live if option 1 actually happens.
Morgan, option 1